Welcome back to the WCS Challenger League for Korea. This is Season 2, and we've already had 2 of our best of 3s go through. I'm going to give you guys a quick recap. Squirtle went down 2-0.
Squirtle went down 2-0, which means that True is now currently 4-0 against Protoss players. Took down JYP in the first round of the Challenger League and eliminated Squirtle just a few minutes ago in the second round, going up against the winner of Swagger versus Keen. And looking at his Protoss versus, or Zerg versus Protoss, I guess that he's hoping for Swagger to take that game.
Exactly, I think so. Well, we'll see if he can show some really crazy builds again going in the future if he does end up facing Swagger. We talked about it a lot already, but that triple hatchery before pool build is just, it's just kind of unheard of. You don't really see that.
That was actually really, really cool. Well, right now we have to the left side a RorO. He's going up against a Dream. And that's going to be quite the interesting match between the two of them.
Dream is such a great multitasker. He's been a good Terran player for a long time, kind of under the radar. Very, very good in the late game with his drops. Reminds me of a young Gumiho. But for him to win this match would be a huge upset. RorO is a GSL champion. Did fall from the OSL a bit earlier than most people expected. That's how he finds himself here. But Dream, not an opponent to underestimate, but I would highly favor RorO going into this one.
No, definitely true. I mean, I have exactly the same opinion on this. Dream is someone who is definitely very, very strong. He just qualified, as you can see, of course, from the qualifier going into the Challenger League. It was a pretty tough bracket that he had there. And, well, I think he actually went up against Madball in the finals, if I'm not mistaken. He won that with a 2-0, if I'm not mistaken. So, up against RorO right now. Let's see what he can do here. And Dream, of course, like in the first round, he defeated Paralyze, whereas RorO had to deal with Pillowy. So now we have the two of them going up in a very different matchup in the second round against each other. Yeah. Seems to be a little bit of a problem with Dream's PC here.
Yeah, he's...
okay, here's the invite frame.
Apparently, some of the accounts lost some of their friends, so they had to re-add each other, it looks like, is what happened earlier.
Okay, so that makes sense, of course.
Making sure they are all real ID friends with each other, all the admins. It's really cool to be real ID friends with the admin. You can join his games like right away.
Well, game on, I guess. We are heading into game number 1 in just a few seconds. The map is actually Newkirk Precinct. You mentioned that already, right?
Yes.
So Newkirk being the first map that we have today in our Terran vs Zerg. We saw Marine King with a very aggressive opening in our first TVZ today, and a very aggressive response by his opponent too, trying to run past with Zerglings. Didn't work out too well for Shine early on. Marine King took the game. Well, let's find out what's going to happen in our Terran versus Zerg here. This is, of course, the first map between those two. We're still in the second round of the Challenger League. Whoever goes down here will go to the up and downs, and the winner will advance to the third round and has a shot going up to the Premier League immediately. The game is loaded. Newkirk is map number 1. RorO up against Dream at the WCS Challenger League. Colin Wolf. Starting to the bottom left of the map for Team Samsung Khan, we have the Zerg player, former champion.
Samsung Khan, RorO.
Really, really strong player. A little bit lacking in his Zerg versus Terran, though. We're going to talk about this in just a few seconds. Starting to the right side of the map, we have in red for Team MVP.
MVP Dream.
And
today is the day of 10 pulls,
exactly.
I guess, Calder.
And Dream is being faced with the 10 pull here.
RorO saw that against Marine King. He was like, you know, that's pretty cool.
Well, let's see where we have that command center. It looks like we're going to see it on... do we have a command center first? That's, of course, the first question here. If we do have a command center first, no, we don't. No. We have the barracks instead, and he's going to wall. So that is the best opening that Dream could hope for against this build that RorO is using in game number 1.
Yeah. He's gonna have the Reaper out, and that means that not only will he be able to stave off the Zerglings, but he can also just go back for the Scout. And the thing is, with these Lings, they're all slow, so they're not even going to be able to escape from the Reaper.
I talked a little bit about the ZVT that RorO has, and that it's not really all that impressive. And of course, you have to realize, or to just know that he goes up against very, very tough opponents. But he played 16 maps against against Terran. and he only won 6 of them. So he is at a 38% win ratio against Terran these days. The last opponents that he lost to were Innovation, Alive Bravo, and also Flash. So very high caliber Terran players that he had to deal with. Dream, on the other hand, is not as accomplished as those guys, but he is a very strong player himself and has a great record in Terran versus Zerg. He has played 14 maps and he won 11 of them, which leaves him with an 80% win ratio against Zerg. And so far, things are looking really good for him. We have RorO with a follow-up into a hatch after his initial Zergling, so he wants to go into a more economy-based play. But Dream is safe with his wall, and those Zerglings should not be an issue for him.
Yeah, they should not be at all. He's just gonna... He's waiting with those links, which is really interesting. Because he saw that this is a Reaper opening, so he's going to wait until the Reaper is gone, and then he's going to come and harass the Commander. I really like this. That is a very smart choice. Not many Zergs would have thought about it this way.
He's already in a really bad spot because of that wall, so he just waits up to the point where he thinks, okay, the command center should be started by now. If you build that on the low ground, I'm going to be there to force a cancel.
Yeah, this is really, really cool. I like this so much. Reaper in the main base, though, could pose a problem. He actually saves the drone by making it into an extractor, something he is going to want eventually anyways. Sees the last Reaper leave, but the Lings are spotted. He will lose the SCV building the command center, though, at the very least.
Yep. That is definitely true, and he is most likely also forced to cancel this. I'm not 100% sure. Ooh, I don't think... Oh my god, he made a small mistake here.
He missed it.
He did not right-click on the SCV, and now those Zerglings are attacking the command center instead. That's very, very annoying for him.
He did finally kill it, though. He corrected himself, but it took him a little while. And the next Reaper is far off. He's going to have to cancel.
Yeah, has to cancel after all, but for a second I was actually like a little bit scared for him and thought that maybe Dream is able to just go through with this.
The only reason why RorO is able to do this is just because he made this incredibly intelligent choice to hide the Lings. Otherwise, this would not have happened this way. The Reapers would have come back earlier, he would have saved the command center. And as it is now, even though he lost a lot of economy to do the early pool, he's made up for it tenfold almost. There's the second command center going down for Dream. That's his response.
Double CC in the main base now, and Dream also has 3 Reapers now on the map. And with those 3 Reapers, he can actually just move in and try to take down a few of the drones, but at least he will be able to get the scouting information. And gas timings, that's what he is really interested in now. He wants to know what exactly is the second step for RorO. What is he going to do? Will he try to go into a third base? Will he try to go for some kind of all-in? But the tech for Dream is decent at this point. He's already ready with his factory, just waiting for the reactor to finish. And the only thing that RorO has right now is speed upgrade started.
Yeah, it's the only thing he has. Reaper's coming in here, just annoying the queens. I'm a little bit surprised he doesn't try to pop into the main base here. And there's actually some units coming down here. But he needs to save that Reaper. Really, really important for him to make sure every unit that he has is alive, because as we saw just before with Marine King in a previous match, if you keep these Reapers alive, they can really put a hurting on that third hatchery. You send them over there, start picking away at it, and sometimes, in very rare cases, you can kill it.
Yeah.
Fast lair.
Yeah, fast lair instead for him. And that leaves him with a few options. He could either go for a very fast Mutalisk play and try to hit his opponent with the timing here. The Queen's at the front trying to defend, him getting the extra gas up. If he wants to do that, he needs the double extractor though at the natural, and as I say, he actually starts those. So he could actually go for this. He could go for the Mutalisk timing. That gives him the control of the map, gives him also control of the airspace, and therefore medivacs won't be an issue. But he needs... Oh, nice transfuse on the Queen here, just saving her in the last second.
Ooh. Gets 1 Reaper, 2 Reapers.
But at what cost?
Well, the cost of now about 12 Zerglings and the expensive Twitch chat, but...
Yeah, actually those Zerglings are doing a lot. They're taking down those Hellions as well.
Yeah.
That was the perfect number.
That was exactly needed, and the control from Dream was not the best.
He could have split it a little bit better and maximized the damage that he deals to the Zerglings and got out of there with a few of those units.
Spire is the choice, as predicted. With all the Lings he was making, I thought he might go for Nidus, but do you think it's possible he just goes for 2 base Lings with a few Banelings and tries to just do damage at the natural here?
I think he's going. He's already taken the third base, so he's going for the third, but he's definitely trying to make this happen with a bit of a timing. If he can hide his Spire tech for a little bit longer, he can just move into the main base, do a lot of damage to the economy, will follow it up with the normal Ling meter Baneling strategy, and try to just stabilize and get these upgrades out. But you can really see that we don't have evolution chambers just yet, so this is him dedicating all the gas that he has into this fast attack, and with the timing that we have, the Mutalisks will arrive at the main base of the Terran planet roughly around the 11-minute mark. And Dream it would be great for him to get into the main base somehow. The Reapers are gone, but with a scan, he might be able to see what's happening.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Ooh! 2 depots here, a little bit late, but not so late that you can't get them up.
You know, on the other hand, Dream should actually... He should get an inkling what's coming here. I would not be surprised to see him throw down Missile Turret very soon, or at least borrow a few of those Mines in the main base. Because what did he not scout? He did not see anything that resembles an Evolution Chamber, which is, of course, a gas dump in the early game for the Zerg. So he must be wondering right now, what are you getting? Like, what do you do with your gas? Do you have that third base? Yes, you do, and you're getting gas there. So what is going to be your tech? Yes, there could be a Nidus network. Sometimes we see that with roaches or even without, but the more likely choice is the Spire tech. And I'm very surprised that he doesn't get anything to defend against those. There we go.
Okay, now he starts it, but he's seen so many lings, you know, he knows there's gas dumped into something. And just the one turret is something that you're going to want anyways,
but
so...
Look at the timing here. Look how beautifully that lines up.
It's so great for him. Baneling speed is on the way during all this
The missile turret is done right now, and this is exactly the time when the Mutalisks arrive in the main base. 11 minutes and 10 seconds.
That was the perfect time, but he ignores the turret, goes for the production in the main base here, kills 2 SCVs.
Yeah, should not be too much of an issue though. There are still Marines. As long as you protect one of your mineral lines at the beginning, you can protect the second up to the point where you have missile turrets there as well. So you don't have the massive investment into missile turrets right now away, but you can get those later. Lost the mule on the other hand, so RorO at least getting something out of this.
Yeah. His Overlord's finished and he starts 11 drones and gets those Evolution Chambers. That is one of the biggest problems for a Zerg when you go for this type of strategy, is having the Evolution Chambers so late. By the way, that was crazy, Mike. Did you see that where the Muse attacking the weakened Marines were lifted into the medevac? That's insane control from Dream.
But you know, I was talking about this earlier. If you go for the strategy and you decide to go into your tech first and then into the Evolution Chambers later, yes, you fall behind in the upgrades, but this is a conscious decision. This is a risk that you just run, because you want to do damage to your opponent, you want to surprise him. But even if you don't do that, you will have the map control. You cannot fight head-on with the Mutalisks just yet, but that's where the Banelings come into play, and also the Zerglings. This is why we have the Baneling nest. But it gives him safety. Safety against drops, and it also gives him the map control. So that's what he's trying to do right now, and he tries just to get those extra bases up, get the extra economy, and then equalize in the upgrades. And Dream actually made the mistake of not getting his armory in time.
Yeah. He's going to allow him a lot of catch-up time, RorO that is. Tries to set up a trap for the Muses, not quite being as watchful as he could be. The Muses not really getting a whole lot done here, though. He's protecting the Overlord. He's going to kill 3 Marines, and gets away. Could kill 5 Marines and get away. Does, and even the medevac here is being used to try to chase them down. If he gets caught here, this could be a disaster. Yeah, he should be able to get away. It's going to be close.
He tries to back him into a corner, and there's a few Marines are there. Missile turret also getting kills. Yeah, getting one kill.
Yeah, if he targeted, he could have gotten 2. You very rarely see turrets micro, though.
Yeah, this is really what he wants to do. Just buy himself the time, occupy his opponent, keep him in the space. But for Dream, I mean, Dream needs to get the 2-2 out, and there's the +2 attack upgrade, here's the armor upgrade, so he once again gets a little bit ahead here. And this is where Zerg just has a big problem. If the Terran is ahead in the upgrades and moves out with such a huge army, but those Banelings that he's mobbing at the potential 4th base of Dream, those could actually blindside him. If they get into the mineral line, then Dream's economy might fall apart.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. He's got a few units back there.
Main base drop, and the 3rd is being attacked. The 4th, actually, that is. So the main base drop forces those Mutalisks to retreat, and this is exactly the time that he moves to in. But here we have...
He hits the hit. He hits in there. It looks like Dream was just not paying attention. His depots were down even.
Yeah, and Harvester count 21. That's exactly what I talked about earlier. Now his economy is a little bit more shaky, but he still has 50 SCVs, and he has the mules.
The pickup here a little bit late. Great Widowmine shot. And he will escape, but that could have been much more disastrous. He noticed a little bit late this force was coming. He's trying to reunite his units together.
In general, I like this better for Dream, what just happened. Because we had this run by with those Banelings doing a lot of damage, but he can rely on the mules, and the power of mules is something that is just awesome for a Terran. But this draw into the main with the Mutalisk, with this drop that he used, and then just going in at the 4th and taking that down was very important for Dream to limit the gas income.
I like his position much better than RorO's, simply because his upgrades are also starting to creep ahead, and he's got this map presence, so he's constantly pressuring RorO here. RorO cannot remake his 4th. Well, he's trying to make whatever here, but the problem is, as you can see on screen, as soon as that's scouted with the drop, the base is forfeit, and he's going to have to cancel that no matter what.
Exactly, he has to cancel it, and this is a problem because it's 3 base against 3 base. The Terran player is more than happy to actually play this game. And we have the Infestation Pit now for RorO. I very much like this decision, but Dream is also in a spot where he can start his 3-3 very soon, and if he does, he will eventually get ahead in upgrades. And we talked about this countless times. Yeah.
Infestation Pit timing here, though, is a lot
We don't mind.
Oh, hits the Lings instead of the Mutas, but that flank was so close to eliminating a lot of those Mutas. He has a Widowmine drop here.
That's the problem that you have with Mutalisks. You cannot face Marines head-on, and currently the Mutalisks are actually being chased across the map, and you want it to be the other way around. You want Mutalisks to hit spots and the Terran player just to run from the right to the left, from the bottom to the center, wherever, just trying to catch up with them. So this is not a good spot for RorO. It's actually Dream calling the shots and not the Mutalisks forcing him into a position. Now maybe in the main base against 1 turret, those Mutalisks are definitely enough, but where are the reinforcements?
Here they come, they're coming back. He has a good amount of kills on those. Right now, 67 drones to 57 SCVs, though, because RorO is so pressured that he can't make as many drones as he would like to. He's constantly having to remake an... Oh, that Widowmine shot! Insane!
And
14 kills.
Look at that tactical decision. He had to once again draw him to the left side and moving in at the potential 4th, that is. Forcing a cancel again. 3-3 has been started. The only thing that I really, really love about RorO's position is that he gets the
quick hive.
Yeah, well, it's not really a quick hive, but you know, it's measured against the upgrades of the Terran player. It's in a fairly good spot.
Yeah. It's not going to be one of those 5 to 6 minute timings where the Terran has 3-3 for that long before you can even start yours. The Mito's trapped again. He will escape with most of them here, it looks like, in fact, all of them. Okay. But he's, like you said, you never want your Mutas to be in a position where you're being chased by Marines across the map. Yep. Dream just has had map control this entire time.
And keep one thing in mind, Marines are cheap. They are really cheap. Losing a couple of Marines every now and then, you don't care about that at all. It's more important to keep the rest of your army alive, especially all those medivacs that we have. So Marines are easily replaced, but they are so strong once that this 1-1, the 3-3 upgrades hit. At this point already with the +2, they're incredibly strong. But he can sacrifice a few of them as long as he pays attention to the big chunk of his army. So now we have even a bit of a supply advantage here for a second for Dream.
Yeah.
But Dream, he's even getting a 4th, he's getting a planetary, and I love his position. I really like it.
He has an attempted flank, RorO that is, or he may just go for the counterattack here.
He might be able to snipe that base, and that would be really huge.
It's really great for him to be able to do this, but if he loses all of his units to do it, then I'm not sure how much I like it. And he actually doesn't get it.
Nice.
And now he's trapped.
Really well done here by Dream. I like this decision. Immediately the lift on the command center, and he pulls back the SCVs. He realizes that this is the entire army of RorO, and he knows that with the 4th base that he's already set up, he can afford to just move back for now, and that was the perfect decision for him.
The Mutas here being chased away once more, and he lost so much to try to kill that base. He failed, and now he's lost control of the middle of the map. There's very few Banelings here, and so many Widowmines.
Widowmines with addition hits! Oh my god, that was awesome! He got nearly all of those Banelings, and now he splits Will against the rest of them. You can really see how suddenly RorO is falling behind in supply, and we have 3-3, but he needs to save those medivacs.
Yeah, he needs to get those medivacs away. Boost them towards his Marines, but he gets a few of the medivacs regardless.
These are the expensive units that you have to save, and Dream is rebuilding them. But keep in mind, his 3-3 is done, and RorO, he now is in a very bad spot for like a minute or two, up to the point where he has adrenal glands and 3-3 on his own.
He's really starting to make these Mutalisks work, though. The Mutalisk count getting very high, now up to 25, and there's adrenal glands on the way even, so he's really trying to get these upgrades out and stabilize. He has +3 on the way for his Mutas as well, don't forget.
Yeah,
he just has no army.
The Mutalisk count is very dangerous, and now the double turret at the natural, that's something that I like a lot, because Dream identified that this is such a heavy Mutalisk commitment that he has to do something, and the double turret is his answer. But his bases are very thinned out, and you can really see that now the Marines are suddenly having a very tough time chasing up with them, and that's exactly what you're aiming for when you go for Mutalisks. That's something they couldn't do earlier, but now with the Mutalisk count increasing and them already having the +2 attack upgrade, he's suddenly able to kind of make this work.
Yeah, here comes another attack at the 4th, by the way.
Just might be a little bit too late.
I think it may be.
Oh, look at Dream now moving into the 3rd base of his opponent.
He's
once again.
killing it. There's no way. He's going to also boost here, it looks like, into the main base. The Mutalisk count has started to thin out quite a bit, and he's just trying to draw his opponent into different directions while he can pick him apart other places. He's spreading, you know, butter over too much toast at this point in time.
You already mentioned the attack earlier that we had at the top left that was taken out now, but we have Dream getting farther and farther ahead in the overall supply. As long as he can run out with his upgrade lead, he will have a great time here. 3-3 about to be completed for RorO, but just look at the supply here. He's already 30 supply behind his opponent, and we have 4 bases against 4.
Look at this position for the Marines and the Widow Mines. So beautiful, and he gets another shot off on those Mutalisks.
Yep. We talked about the impressive record that Dream has in this matchup, and it just shows. RorO is struggling a little bit. He has to play in Pro League and in, of course, the individual league against some of the best Zerg players in the Terran players in the entire world. But Dream is definitely giving him a run for his money. But Dream hasn't won this game just yet, and 3-3 is about to be completed for RorO, so he will be on even upgrades with the Terran player.
Dream just seems to be slipping with his macro a little bit. He has a lot of extra resources every now and then in his minerals. He's just not able to micro and build his units back at home at the same time. Good pickups here, but you know, RorO seems to have the cards were stacked against him, but he's just defended so well, and he's made these Mutalisks. Like you said, you know, there's a moment where we're thinking he's making the Mutalisks work, but is it too late? It turns out that he's able to make it work long enough to close the gap in upgrades, and also he has +3 for his Mutalisks finishing.
Exactly, the +3 for the Mutalisks. This is where he can really try to utilize that hit and run ability of them. And with +3, he could actually just try to snipe that planetary.
Yeah, it's finished now, and he's going in. There's a Widow Mine, but only one.
Really good hit. Oh wow, I can't believe that he didn't build any missile turrets at the space.
Yeah.
That is really surprising to me. He was attacked several times already here, and he built one missile turret earlier that got taken out. I really thought that he would try to rebuild those.
I think part of the reason is that he thought the Widow Mines might just cut it on their own, but it turns out they don't.
He's running a little bit low in minerals, and Dream, I still like his position here, but as you already said, he's slipping a little bit. If you compare the mid-game, where he was at 3 positions at once, defending, attacking, and dropping at the same time, he now suddenly is in a spot where it's a lot harder for him to make this work.
At a time, he was 30 to 40 supply ahead in the game, and now he's dropped down. This one Baneling, that one Widow Mine gets 18 kills, not able to hit the Banelings on the other hand.
The Mutalisks are starting to become a pain in the butt here for Dream, and now here come those drop plays again. Sending one to the 4th base. A couple of Marines and Banelings are already there.
Great target on those drones, and Dream just trying to make this work. Again, takes ahead a lead in the supply. Ultralisk Cavern is on the way. He's transitioning into that.
Yeah, he's drawing him to the left. And tries to move in with his army. Here come those Widow Mines. The burrow is there.
Great shot.
Good shot. Really good shot. There are so many of them. A good split on those. The Ultralisk Cavern. You know, I don't think that he can really afford this.
Not just yet.
Ooh, those Mutalisks. A great pickup once that the Widow Mine actually hit a lot of the Marines. The Mutalisks in a bad spot, losing a lot of hit points here. That's when, of course, that increased regeneration comes into play. Reinforcements moving in. Here come those Widow Mines. Decent hits here.
Dream is just using the Widow Mines with his army. He's not even trying to set up something complicated. Just in the middle of a fight, he burrows them, and RorO seems to be struggling to deal with these.
Once you have the drilling claws, that is something that you can always do. It's such a great upgrade.
The Mutalisks were really giving Dream a tough time, but he's moved beyond that now. And RorO hasn't remade his Mutalisks that he's lost because he's trying to transition to Ultralisks, and Ultralisks require a lot of gas, so you can't be putting your gas in the Mutalisks when you're doing this. He has the chitinous plating on the way. There's a drop in the main.
Yeah, drop into the main base, goes in once again. And, well, right now he could do a lot of damage here. Both players really trying to take down the economy. They know that they're on an even amount of bases. Well, there's actually another base coming. What? These hits are so crazy. His Widow Mine play is really exceptional.
Yeah, you can see he's definitely targeting more than most average Terrans would. He's making sure that he gets the biggest bang for his buck on those Widow Mines.
Those Mutalisks are now suddenly forced back, and you know, earlier they did so much damage to the economy. They were always able to sneak into the natural, into the 4th base and take down SCVs. We saw the entire game just both players rebuilding drones because of that, or SCVs. And here once again, Zergling's now running in at the 3rd, taking down Harvesters.
Yeah, no bunker, nothing here. He's going to lose a lot of Harvesters. He has to sim some of his Marines.
Yeah, but at the same time, we have that drop at the top left once again, and this time the drones come off the mineral line, where Dream sends another force to the bottom left at this pocket expansion and tries to take down the Harvester here. One Ultralisk alone is not going to cut it for the... Oh, that's a little bit of a problem here. Only 3 Mutalisks, he's taking down all of those.
He must have had those all in the same hotkey or something mistakenly.
Yeah, I think they just spawned and he sent them over. But he saved the base at the bottom.
Yeah, he did save the base at the bottom, and it looks like he...
Oh my god, those Marines at the top!
He is going to lose the base here. There's another command center now landed in the middle of the map for Dream as well, so we can get some additional income from that.
Such a great game for both players. Yes, a few individual mistakes, but that makes this game just so entertaining.
It's exciting.
Both of them just going in and move after move. I just don't think that RorO really has the economy to make an Ultralisk play work.
Yeah, he doesn't, because he has right now barely any income at all in minerals. In gas, he's got enough gas, but it's a two-way street, and RorO is trying to, or Dream is trying to make him walk one way.
What really made this, I mean, Dream is now in a spot where he could actually end this game pretty soon. And I personally feel that what brought him into this position was his ability to keep the economy of the Zerg player low for such a long time, always moving in and denying that 4th base for so long.
Dream for me, man, if I had to give him a nickname, it would be the Widowmine Terran, because he is really good at the transfuse and making that Ultralisk practically a Warcraft 3 hero, but second one comes through, he's got to dodge those Widowmines, though.
That definitely has a potion of greater healing right there.
Yeah.
And it's using it, and for some reason doesn't have a cooldown. I always struggle with the cooldown, but for some reason that Ultralisk doesn't have the problem.
That Ultralisk is totally fine with getting potion after potion.
Look at the supply here, once again, just a 10 supply advantage for Dream.
It's because Dream's just not quite able to finish these Ultras off with his Marines.
Yeah, well, here we go in, and he takes down the expansion, and this was so important. There's no income anymore, basically.
None. I mean, right now Dream has 1,600 minerals per minute versus 260.
And that's actually going to decrease in just a few seconds. He's mining from a few mineral patches. RorO, that is, yeah. The mules, of course, they are going to come into play for Dream now, and that will just further increase the gap.
Yeah. And, I mean, RorO is trying to be so cost efficient. That's one thing he's really done this game. Always so cost efficient with his views until he lost them later on. He did a lot of damage, he kept them alive, he kept that gas up. Now, the Ultras, he's getting them out literally one by one. One Ultra comes out, then the second one, the third, he keeps them alive, he transfuses them, but it's too much.
GG.
No money, and you're not making an army.
That Ultralisk transition, he just didn't have the resources to pull this off. But once again, Dream, yes, in the late game, he struggled sometimes a little bit with his multitasking, but I have to say that what he did in the mid game, in the end, gave him this advantage that he needed. He took down the 4th several times of RorO, he kept the Zerg player low in economy, and he defended quite well, split his army, had great multitasking. RorO was very resilient, but Dream impressed me a lot with this game. That was very difficult what he performed there in the mid-game.
Yeah, very difficult, but he pulls it off, and I'm impressed very much so by his play. Both players, the Mutalisk strategy that we saw with +3 Mutas, that's something that you can use to great effect, and I bet at some point Dream was considering getting the armor upgrade for his turrets. Another thing is he didn't build very many turrets at all. He didn't really respect the Mutalisks.
That surprised me a little bit. I really thought he would invest into more of them. We had for both sides actually like 40 to 50 SCVs or Harvesters killed in the game. RorO, of course, with that Baneling run-by that he had a bit earlier, killed a fair amount of SCVs, but Dream was still fine. But this scenario just was like where Dream didn't really focus on his air defense. On 3 bases, that's fine because of how he used his Marines, but once he got the 4th, I feel he should have invested a little bit more into those structures.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Dream can sort himself out here. He just had a little bit of a chat with his MVP coach, and it's one of those games where you win, but you still talk to your coach because you're like, well, I won. I had a tough time, though. It was really back and forth. There were a lot of times I thought I might be dead. And RorO, on the other hand, does not look phased by this. He has a ton of experience. He's a GSL champion after all.
Oh yeah, Dream is definitely not out of it just yet. Well guys, our next map is going to be Star Station. Currently Dream is up after a great performance in game number 1. Very entertaining match between the two of them. But now we're heading into map number 2 between RorO and Dream at the WCS Challenger League. Can RorO bring it to a game 3, or will Dream take the 2-0 and advance to the 3rd round of the Challenger League here at the WCS? Call on Wolf. An immediate pause.
Insta-pause by the Korean observer, so I think we're going to have potentially a regame here. Not 100% sure what happened.
Yeah. Not really sure what exactly caused that pause, but they're chatting right now, so...
RorO actually selected Terran, so it was instantly paused and we'll have a remake.
Yeah, I thought we were looking at Dream there. Yeah, okay, so RorO with the wrong race.
And right now RorO is so thankful he's not playing in a Kespa League, because otherwise he would probably actually just have to play Terran, and that would be terrible. But yeah, it's not like a wrong map or anything, he just accidentally picked Terran. This happens, you know, 1 out of 100 games, you go in and suddenly, oh, gotta remake that room.
Yep. So we're going to restart that game, and then we're going to find out what RorO can do this time, of course, with Zerg. Would be a little bit surprised to see him pick Terran. It would actually be such a sick mind game if he has like the craziest all-in on Star Station and just mind games his opponent there.
They had me like in the position for the player for a second. I thought they were going to start as they're all typing, but I think we're all good now. No problems this time.
Okay, Zerg versus
Terran, yeah.
RorO versus Dream, this time for real. Let's see what RorO can do here. Would be a bit surprising to actually see him fall out of the Challenger League into the up and downs. But Dream has proven in game number 1 that he's a great Terran versus Zerg player. RorO, of course, wants to bring it to another map, to the 3rd map here. We're heading into the game right now at the WCS Challenger League. RorO versus Dream. Colin Wolf.
There we go.